Hi everyone, today we'll be going through how to use this Xero bulk void tool replacement, and this script will allow you to void invoices, bills and credit notes utilizing the custom integration that Xero offers. So what this means is, instead of going through the app certification process, charging people for the app, etc., this feature, which hopefully one day will come to Xero, bulk voiding, it's pretty simple to implement code-wise. So we've just got this little script here, and today I'll be showing you how to use that for invoices. So all the instructions are here, and we're going to go through it step by step. Cool, so first of all, there's a couple of requirements, but please don't let them put you off. They're quite straightforward. So number one is to have Python installed. It comes pre-installed on Mac. I believe it's version 2 of Python. But if you need to download that, you could just search for Python download. It's going to be this first link here, and then click this button, and the installation process is just like any other tool that you'd install. If your IT team or security people are worried that you're asking to install Python, it's completely safe. As I said, it ships on Mac, so it's definitely not a virus or anything like that. Cool, and secondly, we need a text file editor. If you want to be fancy, you can use a coding tool, but for this demonstration, I'm going to stick to Notepad because I think most people will have that on their machine, or text edit on Mac. And lastly, a terminal. So for Windows, we'll use command prompt. For Mac, you'll have an application that's called Terminal already built in, but feel free to use just whatever you're comfortable with. Alright, let's get started. So first of all, we're going to set up a custom connection via Xero. If you're not sure what they are, there's a blog post here, and I'll include a link to that unless you just copy it from this recording. But anyway, it's a new option available for connecting to organizations. You can make one on behalf of your client if you're at a practice, and it will charge them, etc. for that. So all the fees are here. The availability, if you want it for different regions, please contact Xero, ask them for that. And then there's all these benefits here. So the best benefit really is there's a way less code, a lot less code, and it's very straightforward. So anyway, let's go make one. You want to head to developer.xero.com. You'll see these sign up or log in. So obviously you want to log in. Once you've logged in, you'll be able to create a new application. So hit that button. We're just going to call it bulk void tester, something like that. Custom connection. You can put anything in here because we're not going to get certified, so it doesn't really matter. And then click the box. Cool. Alright, so these scopes here, they restrict your app to certain things. So this is a good way to reduce the blast radius if something was to go wrong. But anyway, to retrieve and void invoices, we need accounting.transactions. It would seem a bit suspicious if I was here saying turn on files, payroll, projects, etc. Sweet, so authorized user is ourself. You can send it to a different user as well, but I'm not really an expert on all the options, but Xero can help you there. Cool, so now we're just waiting for authorization. Nothing's connected, but an email's been sent. You can resend it here. So let's just have a look at the email. Boom, here we go. Got a subscription, blah, blah, blah. For the demo company, it's free, so feel free to try this out before you start billing people. But anyway, we're going to connect. I'm just going to copy this link because I'm actually authorized over here. I'm already logged in incognito, so I'm just going to paste that in. And we're going to choose demo company, allow access. Cool. So it logs us into the demo company, and we can see our connected app bulk void tester is ready to go. Nice. So if we head back to the instructions, it might look a bit overwhelming, but we've skipped pretty much all of this, which is awesome. Now we need to go back to developer.xero.com, which is here. Refresh this page. Ta-da, it's connected, got the right scope, we've got a client ID, and we're just going to generate a secret. So we need these 2 bits of information here to actually contact Xero and get information from an organization. Cool, so now we've got those 2 bits of information. We'll go back to GitHub. We want to download this code. You can choose these fancy options if you want, but download zip is for most non-technical people what we'll be doing. So if we head to our downloads, we can see it's here, and we just want to extract it because it's a zip folder. Cool, so we're now inside the code here. Oh, it's nested my directory, that's alright. And here we can see the code. What we want to do is right-click config.ini example and rename it to get rid of the underscore example suffix. So it will look like that, just config. And then we want to open this in Notepad. And you can see here, this is the configuration. So dry run enabled will mean it will tell you what it's going to void, but it won't do it. Putting that to disabled, it's actually going to void. Void type, you can do like invoices or credit notes. Bills and invoices both come under the Invoices API endpoint. So it may seem confusing, but to Xero they're the same thing. One's just accounts receivable, the other's accounts payable. CSV file name, this is going to be the CSV we download from Xero that has all of our invoices we want to void. And client ID and secret, we're actually ready to fill that in now. So we'll just jump back here, copy the client ID. And I'm going to delete this afterwards, so if you try copy these values, it's not going to work. And I recommend that you keep yours secret too. Cool. So I'm just going to leave this here, so it's going to do a dry run bulk void invoices to this file. So we really need that file now. So if we jump into the demo company, we can see awaiting payment. These are the ones we can void. If it has a payment like this one here, or a credit note applied or something, you can't void it until those payments have been removed. So what we'll do is we'll export all of this. If you want to reduce, because export now is going to take all 12, if you want to reduce it, use the search here, and we could say limit this to July. Run search. Now when I export, it's only going to contain these documents. See, the one that had a payment is now missing, so we could actually export this, motor through the whole list, they'll all get voided. But I actually want to show you what it looks like when it has an error, just in case you encounter that. So I'll just bring this back to normal. Cool, so we expect this one to error, which is fine. So export. Cool, you can see the file name here is quite intense. It doesn't default to invoices.csv, so we're actually just going to call it invoices. And the reason for that again is so it matches CSV file name. Cool, so that should be all matching. We'll go back to the instructions. This looks like a lot, but we're already past that. We've already set this all up. Now the tool is ready to run. Awesome. We've got the different options here, which we've set. Downloaded the CSV. It's important that the file you download is in the same folder as the code, otherwise the code won't be able to find it. So we just need to tidy that up because ours is currently here, but the code's in this folder. So I'll just drag it in. And it's made a nested folder, which is a bit annoying when I extracted it. Cool. So you want invoices and then the code here. That's perfect. So now what we'll do is we want to open a terminal. There's many ways to do this, but just to do the Windows way, we would want to use command prompt. And on Mac you'd be using terminal. And you want to run a command to set your terminal so it's looking in this folder. So a good way to do it on Windows is to grab this top part here, copy that, type in the letter CD, press spacebar, paste, enter. Cool. So you can see now this is where we are. We're at the same location as the code. And now what we can do, because Python is installed, on Mac it's going to be Python 3 app.py, because Mac comes shipped with Python 2 by default. But on Windows, since I haven't installed Python previously, I've only had version 3. This will be the command that I run. Cool, so you can see here it's running the tool, asking Xero for a token, obtain token, expiry in 30. We don't need it for too long, unless you're voiding thousands and thousands. But you can get a new token, that's fine. Dry run is enabled, not voiding anything. Without dry run, here's what we'll void. 23, 43, cool. So if you want to be super sure, you can cross-reference these with either the CSV file, or you can cross-reference them with what you see here. But I'm pretty confident in the code because I wrote it, and if it's wrong, I would have found out by now. So anyway, let's run this. We will turn off dry run, so we'll set that to disabled. Save the config file, yep. And now we're going to run the last command, python app.py, press enter. Cool. So what we can see here is there was an error, invoice 27. Please check there's no payments applied to it and that it still exists in Xero. So it still exists in Xero because it's here, but it did have a payment. So we expected that to error. We don't really care. I was doing that for the demonstration. But what's cool here is I've got it printing out the error. So if you're ever unsure, here's the actual message from Xero themselves. I didn't write this. This document can't be edited. It's got a payment or credit note. So as simple as that, you can fix it up, rerun the tool, and it will void, no worries. Now we're asking for 17 to be voided, done, 36 done, so on and so forth. Cool. Let's refresh this page. Awaiting payment 1. So it's really that straightforward. Now if you wanted to do credit notes, you would just change this to credit notes. It's the same code runs, and it will void your credit notes. I don't have any created in the demo company, but I have tested it out with a handful and it's worked fine. Nice. So that's really everything. Hope you enjoy the tool. If you get stuck running it, I can help you out. If your IT team or someone won't let you have Python or whatever, you can always run it on a home machine or something. But that's really it. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you later.